That is not good. This is a bike we've been building for quite some time, and it's missing a few products that we put on it. But the topic of today is actually this guy, the newcomer. I have used and abused this Yamaha Bolt quite enough in my opinion. Now the bike's still running really well, and that's exactly where I choose to sell it. I try to be pretty honest about it. I'll tell them I rode it pretty hard, but it is working. Everything's fine. I think the valves could probably be adjusted, but everything's working well, and I mean, I'll start it right now. Now this came off that bike, that came off this bike. I also took time and swapped out the back wheels because I've already scratched up this rim, and I didn't scratch up the other one because I didn't own that because it was on this bike and I just got it. You understand. Then I swapped out the brake rotors. I found this one online. I've always wanted white, and the items that were already added onto it are too good to pass up on. So we got a custom air intake. I don't know what brand that is. I did not like the cover, so I'm gonna try to figure out something else. It's got an actual exhaust that is not made out of a truck. For those of you that have been watching this build, you remember me making this. But the biggest thing for me and why I was like, you know what, this is probably the bike I'm gonna buy, because there's a bunch of bolts online right now, was one, the price, and two, it already has a power commander installed. I hate wiring. Intimidating, I mess up on it a lot, and it's just not fun. Nobody likes wiring, unless you're an electrician. That was a ton of talking. I don't even know. That was like 5 minutes of me just rambling. Holy crap. Cue the freaking intro. At this point, I've shot this intro way too many times. All I need to say is we're about to work on both the Yamaha Bolts. We're putting one back to stock. One is new, one is old. Let's go. Right in there is my my main concern. If you look at this pulley, it's got some rust on it. For comparison, you can see how shiny. Let me see if I can get there. You can see how shiny that one is. I mean, it's flawless. Flossy. This is how I keep my bike, right? I keep it clean. And like underneath the belt, you can see is browned from all the rust inside of there. So what I want to do is I want to pull off this cover and make sure that, you know, we're not dealing with anything too drastic. You gotta love impacts, man. Kinda nasty. You can see all the rust I was talking about. Yeah, it's not looking good at all. But if you're gonna swap this out, I'm gonna show you a technique. So I have it in gear. What's happening was when I would wrench on it, it would move the bike forward. So what I did was I just sat on the bike, foot on the brake, and really slammed down on the brake, and then I was able to, you know, yoke up and loosen it up and everything. There we go. Woo. Woo. Alrighty. Oh, this is metal. So this is pretty rusty, but it doesn't look like the rust, you know, goes into the engine at all. After a little bit of cleaning, this is looking a whole lot better, like a ton. So there's a little bit of surface rust in there, but it's whatever. Wipe down all of this as much as I really care to. I was planning on taking off the shift pedal. It's like a retaining clip on the bottom here that I really can't get to, and this is already bent. So what I think I'm gonna do is I already undid this bolt right here. I'm just gonna take off this whole foot peg assembly and swap out that. With the way I ride the bike, that is probably gonna end up being a problem. Cool, got it all off. All right, so I was looking at both of them, and when he crashed and messed up that, you know, that shifter, which by the way still works. Everything that I'm taking off this bike does still work. I just have the option to have a nicer of the two, but I just found out that this is a decorative cover, so I'm just gonna pop this right off and then swap the two, because look at this one. Now look at that one. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I could just put a flat sheet of steel there. Should I do that? Even better. On second thought, I think I have a much better idea. Boom. Well, it's dented. I'm probably gonna dent it again, so I'm just gonna throw it back on there and keep that one stock. I was about to just swap them out, but this looks cool. All right, all I did over here was I just took off the foot peg, just like, or the whole, you know, assembly, just like what I did over on this one. The only thing I will mention on this one is that I have this cool set of crash bars. These are not out for production yet, but a cool guy named Chewy out of California makes them, and dude, they're freaking nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen this side, and I'm gonna just pull the whole thing off, so I'll be ready to put them on there when I'm, you know, when I'm set to do it. Gosh. Sweet relief. in right on time for my second person to show up. I want you to know that I literally said this is probably a two-man job. Finished it and you pulled up. Yeah, you know me. Sorry I've been cutting in and out, guys. It's just a couple of these things got complicated and I talked to Josiah. But we got the kickstand and this foot peg and everything back on. I went ahead and painted that a little bit. And then we got this side all tightened up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop back on this cover and this bike should be pretty ready to go. I need to check the belt to see if it's tight enough. But I mean like ready to go as in like, we can move on. Not done. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Oh, and there goes my phone. Crash bars are officially installed. So I'm gonna have to go back and undo that nut right there. The problem with that is that if you remember, I did not have the right size. So I'm gonna run to the store real quick and grab a socket. That should be it, just a socket. Because this one's all put back together. I'm gonna ride this guy over to the store, the old clappy wagon. That is not good. Oh crap. I should probably check to see if this one works. Oh man, this is bad. Whoa. Oh, this is so bad. So I don't know if I filmed any of it.
How concerned are you, Aaron?
Very concerned, John. Dude, I am. Yeah, alright, so here's what happened, I think. I cranked both of these backwards to tighten that wheel. I think when I did that, I got the timing or something off on this. Something got messed up. I have no idea, but both of them a second ago weren't starting. This one wasn't starting. Check oil light was on, and it was flickering on and off. This one, and it wasn't cranking over at all. This one was priming and cranking, but not starting. And I have no idea. So on this one, the issue was that I didn't put back on this cover, and right there is a ground. Come on, buddy. Right there is a ground that needed to be put down. So I put that on, it started immediately. This one, on the other hand, had nothing particularly wrong with it. It just wasn't starting. But yeah, it started. Actually, let's make sure it still starts. I have no idea. I'm going to take off that front pulley again. And then I'm going to put this back cover back on. And then I'm going to put on the pulley. And then I'm going to put on the outer cover. I got this one kind of where it's good to drive. I need to tighten up the back wheel, but besides that, it's in a pretty good place to drive. This one's all set to drive besides the foot peg. So either way, I'm Aaron, this is Tardy Productions. Thanks for being awesome subscribers and helping us get to monetization. Tell your friends about Tardy Productions, and I'll see you guys next week.